Just a heads up for all the skaters who are competing in shoulder derby at 2 o'clock. We're going to have a meeting at noon in the third locker room, in East Boulevard locker room. So all the skaters who are competing in shoulder derby at 2 p.m. please meet at the Big Easy Roller Girls locker room for a shoulder derby meeting. Attention Road City, your time warm period has expired. Open track for the next few minutes to the start of the game.
The Wheels of Justice. Number 1 is Frisky Biscuits. 127, Jessica Chestnut. 155, Bella Constrictor. 23, Gallifrey. Number 26, Sarah Gaither.
Shot caller. Number 1701, Jean-Duc Bacard. Number 1849, Owl Be Merciless. Number 1962, Human Missile Crisis. Number 21, Blackjack. Number 213, Aphrodite. Number 23, Magnitude Adjustment. Number 247, Slams McKenzie. Number 31, Erica Baduzzi. Number 32, Eiffel Power. Number 33, Troublemaker. Number 48, Dr. Evil. Number 50, Jammunition. Number 504, Natty Longlegs. Number 564, Saku. Number 602, Molecule. Number 718, Lux Furious. And number 76, Queen Luzia Tifa.
And for our officials today, Buenos Tardes, Deddy Hubbard, Benoit, the Doctor, Traxidermist, Wreck-It Rhonda, Snippy Snap, Petey, Rickenblocker, Lucky D. Irish, and skating for us today is Laddie, Trial and Terror, Karen Duncan, Topper Bottom, Shanksy, Blood Nofusky, Mavrek, and Interrobang Yurdy-Herd. All right, who is pumped up for the ATL taking on Rose City right now? Woo!
All right, here we have, starting off Jam 1 of the second game of the second day here at the 2017 Sweatfest. We have number 213, Aphrodite, with Atlanta, and she's going to take on number 77, Lori Munch, with Rose City.
And they're off to a nice scrim start. Straight away seeing a lot of action.
And look at that. It looks like both of these teams had plenty of coffee this morning. Aphrodite is juking and jiving and push carding a nice two-wall brace in the front by the infamous Rose City. Laura Munch gets recycled by Queen Lucia Tifa. And here we have Laura Munch is your first lead jammer of this game, Rose City.
Pack now stretching out in the second straightaway. Rose controlling the front of the pack. Aphrodite still having trouble towards turn number 3, courtesy. Oh, it looks like just Revis.
Absolutely, as Lauren Munch works away on her first scoring pass. And I'd like to remind the Derby newbies back home that when the jammers are actually responsible for scoring points by passing those opposing skaters. And here we have Aphrodite was whistled off the track for a track cut, meaning she passed someone out of bounds. If you pick up a track cut or any type of penalty, you spend 30 seconds in the penalty box.
This will give Rose City the power jam situation. Lauren Munch picking up 5 really quickly and calling off the jam.
That's right. Lauren Munch did a great job calling off the jam. She spotted that Aphrodite was standing up in the penalty box, which means Aphrodite only had less than 10 seconds left of her penalty. She went ahead and called off the jam to get the next jammer in rotation a bit of a head start to pick up that lead jammer status. And of course, who's jamming at the jam line? We have Bonnie Thunders with Rose City.
Tarantula making a nice open hole at the front of the pack, giving Bonnie Thunders room to get that lead jammer status right on the inside lane.
Absolutely. Aphrodite back on track, putting up with a nice tripod set up by Rose towards the back. And in the meantime, Bonnie Thunders earns a grand slam, 5 points for each opposing skater she's passed, including the jammer. So a grand slam, 5 points is the maximum amount of points you can make in one scoring pass.
Between Nisbet Smith and Hannah Jennings, Aphrodite has a lot of work cut out for her. Bonnie Thunder is now approaching the front of the pack yet again. Atlanta rotating through a nice little offensive maneuver here. Hannah Jennings giving some room for Bonnie Thunders. And Bonnie is through with another 5 points for Rose City.
Absolutely. You saw how Bonnie Thunders just rode the block on that last pass, rocking her away. As you said, she picks up another grand slam. That was the 14th point that Bonnie Thunders has earned in this jam alone.
Pack sitting in turn number 1, still not having a full rotation as of yet in this jam. So lots of hard work going on here as it settles, and another 5 points on the board for Bonnie Thunders.
Absolutely. Bonnie Thunders takes the inside lane, smacks into a wall of Atlanta, breaks on through once again, and puts another 5 in the sky for Rose City.
Well, Aphrodite taking some time to give the star on over to Blackjack. Blackjack now really racing around the track so that Bonnie is yelled to call it off. She does, puts up 5, shutting out Atlanta again. What say you, Hazenberg?
Shout out to all of our awesome Derby photographers who have been out here tonight documenting all of our action. Thank you, Shutterbugs. I know it's a challenge to make me look good, but you always manage to do that. And also, we talked about Flex Massage earlier. Well, they're giving away a free bottle of Deep Blue Rub. They're having a drawing. Planet of the Skates won it yesterday. Sign up for today's drawing. You might be the lucky winner.
Score now, Rose City 33, Atlanta 0. We are just first 5 minutes over already. The pack now spreading thin as it enters turn number 2, and we have a cut track penalty on Slams McKenzie, giving Brute the lead jammer status for Rose.
That's right. This is the second power jam in a row in favor of Rose City because of a track cut on the jammer.
So pack sitting still in between turns 1 and 2. Atlanta starting to make a move here with number 76. That's Queen Lujatifa. Pack starting to break apart. A nice last-minute hit from Queen Lujatifa. Oh, she's going to pick up a forearm penalty. So no pass, no penalty, allowing Brute to come right back out, putting up another 5 points on the board for Rose.
That's right. She must have picked up that extra point somehow. Usually no pass, no penalties result into only 4 points. But however, that was a grand slam according to our referee. Here we have another 4 points on the board for Rose, which brings us to a score update 47-0. Rose City over Atlanta with 24 minutes left of the first period.
I'm going to give a little love to our friends at Villery Realty here. Established in 2008, Villery Realty embodies the New Orleans experience. Check them out. They're at 4609 Ferret Street here in New Orleans.
And jam is underway. We're seeing Jam Munition from Atlanta going against Frisky Biscuits of the Rose City Rollers. Frisky at the front of the pack, facing off with Jack Black. We're going to get a forearm penalty on Jack Black, though, so Atlanta will lose their pivot, giving Frisky Biscuits the lead jammer position.
That's right. This is the fourth lead jammer status out of 4 jams. I'm sorry, third lead jammer status. Fourth lead jammer status out of 4 jams total for Rose, with another grand slam in the pocket of Rose City.
Nisbet Smith with the direction of gameplay penalty. So it's Rose losing a player to the box, so it's even 4v4. But you know what? Frisky Biscuits hasn't had enough, puts up 5 and calls it quits. Score now 57-0 over Atlanta. Still not that many penalties. Doing pretty clean derby so far.
I have to say, most of the day yesterday, it was extremely light on penalties. It was really heavy on track cut penalties, which is kind of odd because of the newer rule updates that actually help out with those track cut penalties to kind of keep the skaters more in gameplay throughout the game. But back in the action, we have number 77, Lauren Munch is your lead jammer.
Yes, and anybody could hear that crisp whistle from Benoit. Excellent jam timer. Nice outside maneuver for Lauren Munch, putting up another 5 points. Troublemaker is still stuck in this vicious pack here up at turn number 1.
That's right, Lauren Munch constantly getting knocked out of bounds by Jess Rivas. But oh my, the star was passed to Blackjack, and Blackjack has picked up a track cut of her own. Another track cut penalty on one of Atlanta's jammers, which is another power jam in favor of Rose.
Nisbet Smith picking up an out-of-play penalty. A little bit of frustration there. So the stretching of the pack, very difficult sometimes, but you know what? Lauren Munch is going to call off the jam as the pack just settles into turn number 1. We're going to get a timeout, looks like, for Rose City here, TJ.
That's right. Once again, excellent jammer and track awareness by the jammers at Rose City. Lauren Munch spotting that, noticed that Blackjack was standing in the penalty box, quickly calling it off to once again give the next jammer rotation a little bit of a head start. That's basic strategy by the jammers for all you derby newbies back home.
Well, what say you in this lovely Atlanta timeout there, Hazenberg?
You know, while I've got a minute, I want to encourage you guys to get you some raffle tickets. The raffle prize is a goodie bag from Bruce Boutique, 2 tickets to the Whip to the Championships in Philadelphia, and half of the raffle money, like that all goes to the winner So tickets are $1 each or 6 for $5. I've got my tickets. Do y'all? We're going to have the drawing today. I believe that's during the halftime of Rose City versus Texas. So get your tickets and hang on to them till the end of the day. You might be our lucky winner. I might be our lucky winner.
You
I
never
hope I'm
know.
our lucky winner.
You never know.
And here we have, we're continuing with an official review called by Atlanta. I'm assuming that they're challenging maybe the track cut call on Blackjack, but we'll find out in a moment.
What's the word?
All right, so the official word from our alternate referee Maverick is that Blue was seeking a low block penalty on the purple jammer, but the refs disagree with the call, and so no penalty is issued, and Atlanta has lost their official review for this half.
Well, no worries. There's only 21 minutes and 33 seconds left till halftime, so we're good to go. Back on the track, we have Bonnie Thunders having a power start situation against Blackjack, still stuck into the penalty box.
Beautiful job by Bonnie Thunders. Jumped up hip first, right through the pack, and continued to skate forward to lead jammer view.
Ooh, Hannah Jennings just laying a hurt on Blackjack, but Blackjack shows a little move of her own. Rose now resetting towards the jammer line.
Bonnie Thunders puts another 4 points on the board for Rose City. She gets bumped out of bounds by Erica Baduzzi. Here we have, once again, Erica Baduzzi putting the hurt on Bonnie Thunders. Nice waterfalling by Atlanta, forcing Bonnie to call it off.
That was an excellent, successful star pass on Atlanta's side there. Instakarma wearing the star for just a few moments, but Rose calling it off very quickly.
And that was a successful 8 points by Bonnie Thunders, bringing our score update to 80-0. Rose City over Atlanta with 20 minutes left of the game, the first period of the game.
Shout out to Skate Country West Bank, one of Berg's oldest sponsors, skatecountryWB.com.
Are they going to get their first lead jammer? Oh, she's still in. She's still
Oh
in.
my goodness, it's getting tough at the front. And your first lead jammer situation for Aphrodite and Atlanta. Atlanta's first moment as the lead jammer status stolen from Rose.
Vanna Curtis jamming for Rose City for the first time in this game.
Aphrodite looking at her box here, bench, looking to see what the call should be. She does call off the jam relatively quickly. Atlanta is on the board, ladies and gentlemen and folks.
And
4.
most of the locals down here in New Orleans would definitely recognize Vanna Curtis, formerly known as Abita Applebum, one of the former skaters of the New Orleans Big Easy Roller Girls, our hosting league.
Silence befalls the track as we head into jam number 8, Brute taking on Slams McKenzie. Pack still in the first straightaway, starting to get their sea legs. Nice recycle here by Queen Loser Tifa.
That's right, Slams McKenzie stuck behind a wall of purple, and we have Brute getting recycled all the way back to the jam line, and Slams McKenzie is their lead jammer. Second lead jammer status for this game in a row for Atlanta.
Atlanta hoping to make this a trend. A nice quick move to the inside lane. Slams McKenzie is through with a first Grand Slam of Atlanta's gameplay here. Wonderful job here as the pack sits around turn number 2.
Slams McKenzie living up to her name, slams right through the pack and puts another 3 points on the board for Atlanta, bringing them up to 12 points to Rose City's 80 with 18 minutes left of the first period.
Urban South Brewery on 1645 Chapatulas here in New Orleans. Check them out, urbansouthbrewery.com. Or also on the Facebooks, the Twits, and the Instagrams. Me personally, I love their charming wit. That's one of my favorite, actually, Louisiana beers. So check them out. Get you some.
Jam number 9 underway. Lauren Much on the line for Jam Munition for ATL. Pack starting to break apart just a little bit. Rose controlling the back of the pack. Atlanta in the front. Starts to spread a little bit thin. And Lauren Much taking the outside as your lead jammer for Rose City.
That's right. And in the meantime, we have Jam Munition still working on her initial. Gets bumped out. Almost gets bumped out by 2 of Rose City's blockers.
Woo! That was some amazing work there by ATL. Number 23, Magnitude Adjustment, really forcing Lauren Much to think about her choices. Doesn't want to get that cut track penalty call. Shutting it down.
Come join us for our after party after all this festivities at NOLA Brewing's Tap Room, 3001 Chapatulas. NOLAbrewing.com/taproom for a full list of beers and a delicious menu from McClure's Barbecue. Man, I'm looking forward to that barbecue, you guys. You don't even know.
Here we have back at the jam line, we had a troublemaker taking on Bonnie Thunders. Bonnie Thunders picks up that lead jammer status as soon as she passes up that pivot line.
Ooh, very nice swift move there by ATL. Trying to keep up with the pace of Bonnie Thunders. Bonnie Thunders swiveling to the outside lane. Looking at her bench to see if she should call it. We have a successful star pass on ATL's bench. Magnitude Adjustment now donning the star for ATL.
Bonnie Thunders looking to calling off the jam, decides to keep it going as she works on her second score and pass. Second time in a row, skating through the pack with a spin move.
Rose taking the back position of the pack. Magnitude Adjustment just having some trouble here trying to get past this Triforce of Nisbet Smith Tarantula.
Here we have Magnitude Adjustment. Magnitude Adjustment trying to wedge her way through a wall of purple. Tries to turn into the 5th blocker on the track to slow Bonnie Thunders down. But as you know, it takes a lot to slow Bonnie down, especially when she earns another Grand Slam for Rose City.
A directional penalty on, I believe it's Nisbet Smith headed to the penalty box. Sarah Gaither just doing an excellent job for Rose City, making sure that the bridge and Triforce up at the front doing excellent job defensively. Really slowing down Magnitude Adjustment here. Pack settling in at turn number 2, starting to head into the second straightaway.
Look at that. It takes all 4 of Atlanta's blockers to even slow down Bonnie Thunders as she constantly push carts the pack.
Yikes, we're going to have a high block penalty called here. So Atlanta will lose Erica Baduzzi for 30 seconds into our next jam. Hazenberg, what are you thinking about all this madness?
Oh, man, this has been a hell of a game so far. And it's brought to you by Sailor's Cross, highest quality custom tattooing in a clean, welcoming, laid-back environment. They're at 5010 Ferret Street, sailorscross.com.
Here we have a score update. That was an impressive 23-point jam by Bonnie Thunders on that last jam. We have a score update of 105-16, Rose over Atlanta with 14 minutes left of the first period. Instant Karma is going to get you as she jams for Atlanta. And she's taking on Frisky Biscuits with Rose. Blackjack putting on the brakes of Frisky Biscuits. However, she is your lead jammer once again for Rose City.
Pack settling in between turns 1 and 2. A nice duke out here. And now ATL prevailing with one of their jammers. Instant Karma putting on the star just as it's being called. And we're at 105-16 with 13 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the first half.
Big shout out to New Orleans Brass Roller Derby, who are right across the hall from us. Yeah. The one of the only men's league in Louisiana. Proud MRDA members, if you want to join, they are at info.nolabrassrd@gmail.com. or just talk to them while they're here.
Jam is underway. We have Aphrodite for Atlanta going against Lauren Munch of Rose. Pack's still very sticky right here in the first straightaway there, TJ.
Absolutely. Envy Adams still in the box, serving her previous penalty time from the previous jam. We have a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Atlanta.
Wow, what a tough bridge that we're having here, showing between both defensive movers. But you know what? Luckily for Rose, they bring in Envy Adams, pushing forward, opening up a hole for Lauren Munch. Lauren Munch is your lead jammer for Rose. Oh, wow, and ATL's defense scrambling now, starting to get a little bit of a wall together towards the front of the pack. Pack's still on its very first rotation. Lauren Munch just does a nice little sweet hop, if you will, across the track laterally. That lateral movement on Lauren Munch, genuinely amazing.
Here we have, that was an impressive 14-point jam by Lauren Munch in a short period of time, too, bringing us to a score update to 121 to 16. Rose over Atlanta with 11.5 minutes left of the first period.
Team timeout brought to you by Atlanta. What say you, Hazenberg?
Check out Whole Foods Market at Arabella Station. They're located in the old Arabella Streetcar Barn on Magazine Street. They're one of the best places to get fresh foods here in New Orleans, which is a place with a lot of great places to get fresh foods, but they're the best. So check them out. It's Whole Foods. You know what to do. And don't forget, the 12th annual New Orleans Running of the Bulls celebration will be July 13th through 15th in 2018. Check out NOLABulls.com for all the details. Like I said before, I do the bull run every year, and it is super fun.
So here we have, back at the jam line, jamming for a second time in this game, we have Vanna Curtis with Rose City. And there's some Vanna Curtis fans in the house. Vanna taking on Slams McKenzie with Atlanta.
Rose content taking the defensive maneuvers in the back of the pack.
Didn't Curtis used to play for Big Easy?
I believe so. Erica Baduzzi doing an excellent job bridging together the pack, but Vanna Curtis is your lead jammer for Rose. Very quickly maneuver on the outside lane.
That's right, this is her first lead jammer status in this game so far. Vanna Curtis getting bumped out of bounds and quickly resets, cuts to the center, and earns 5 points.
Nanny Longlane's into the penalty box for a low block penalty. Another 4 points put on the board there. So Rose now extending the lead at 130 to 16. We're just 10 minutes and 32 seconds away from halftime.
And you guys, that's not just any penalty box. That's our 12-mile limit penalty box. 12-mile limit's one of the coolest bars in a city full of cool bars. They're located at 500 South Telemachus. Right here in New Orleans, just 4 blocks off the Canal streetcar line, so you don't even have to drive, which is, good, because if you go, they've got cocktails, cheap beer, barbecue, and good times.
Official timeout being called here.
The Canadians would say a time out.
Another shout out to Bruised Boutique, who are right here in the building today. What up, Bruised Boutique? Check out all their cool derby gear, stickers, wheels, helmets. Check out the brick and mortar store in Metairie, because they have everything your derby heart could desire. And if you're somebody who's just spectating, you're thinking, man, I would love to do this, Bruised Boutique is the best place to get your starter gear. And you can also check out their website, bruisedboutique.com. They have 2 locations, one in Metairie and the other in Boston. So if any of you are heading home to New England after this, first off, go Sox, and secondly, go to Brews Boutique.
Red Sox or White Sox? Nice.
I'd like to give a special shout out to one of the newest members of Rose City Rollers and also a former member of the Big Easy Roller Girls, Beyond Thunderdame.
If only she was here.
Did you hear that, Dame? Did you hear that? They love you. You couldn't be here, but you're here in spirit. Back in the action, we have Jammunition jamming for Atlanta.
Brute is jamming for Rose City. The pack now spreading very thin is starting to enter turn number 2. Atlanta taking the back of the pack, trying to slow down Brute. Rose in the front. Jammunition really approaching this triforce of just determination. Oh my gosh, Rose very good at this, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Here we have it, a slight jammer lockdown. Spoke too soon. Brute is your lead jammer, Rose.
Both teams now at full strength. Pack starting to pick up speed as it enters turn number 3. Brute trying to find the outside lane, just picking up as many bodies as she could. 1 point only for Rose. Atlanta holding their own in that last jam.
You know, one of Berg's awesome sponsors, Dr. Shoemaker, Shoemaker Chiropractic, located at 221 West Judge Perez Drive in Chalmette. The best chiropractor in Louisiana, and is frequently here to adjust your back while you're getting it wrecked on the track.
I'm getting it wrecked every day.
Here we have Troublemaker taking on Bonnie Thunders from Rose. Bonnie pushes her way through the pack all the way toward the front, and she is your lead jammer, Rose City.
Ooh, Troublemaker now breaking through in the up the middle lane. Very nice job. Trying to pick up as much speed as possible. Bonnie Thunders just demolishing the pack, but can she pick up one? No, shut out by Bonnie Thunders, cutting it off very close. So very close, though. 4 points for Rose City, making it 135-16. 8 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the first half.
I'd like to give a special shout out to our tournament coordinator, Panda Scare, with the Big Easy Roller Girls.
Jam 16 underway, both teams at full strength, and very quickly, Frisky Biscuits picks up the lead jammer position. Instakarma still stuck in the pack as it enters turn number 1, having to recycle behind a huge plethora of skaters, but almost seeks the inside lane, does stay inbounds, now is eligible to score. No pass, no penalty.
Bayou Hot Wings, I bet you can guess what they sell. They're at 6221 South Claiborne across from Yeoman Stadium. You can also check them out on BayouHotWings.com.
Here we have back of the jam line once again. Jamming for the 3rd time is Vanna Curtis, and she is going to take on Aphrodite with Atlanta. We have a full complement of blockers on the track with 7 minutes left of the first period. Here we have Vanna Curtis takes the outside line, does a little tap dancing, and she is your lead jammer, Rose. Vanna Curtis just plows her way and then quickly resets back to the jammer line behind Natty Longlegs. Takes the outside line and puts 5 points on the board for Rose.
Pack settling up there at the pivot line. We're going to get a penalty called here on direction of
Vanna
gameplay.
once again rides a block from Molly Kuehl.
Yeah, Rose is going to lose number 23 to the penalty, Gallifrey. So Atlanta taking more towards the back entrance of the pack here, turn number 1. Rose was sitting around turn number 2. Rose now coming back. Oh, power jam situation. Blocking with the head for Aphrodite, so Vanna Curtis has the track to herself for 30 seconds.
That's right, with only about 50 seconds left of this jam, this gives Vanna Curtis plenty of time to put some more damage on the scoreboard for Atlanta. For Rose, she quickly calls it off. And we're going to
stay here for our next game, which is going to be
Start.
Troller Derby, announced by myself and the inimitable Stash Merkin. If you want to change up the rules, go to the Berg merch table and throw your donations in. You can do things like swapping the refs with a team. Let's see, making a slow motion jam, replacing a blocker with a giant inflatable pool toy, making a Quidditch jam where everyone has to ride a broom.
Here we have Lauren Munch getting knocked around quite a bit from Queen Lucy Tifa. However, she is your lead jammer, Rose City. Aphrodite back on track, conserving that penalty box time. It's the end of the power jam. An attempted apex jump by Lauren Munch, however, getting disrupted by Troublemaker. Here we have Slams McKenzie with Atlanta jamming. She is your lead jammer.
Oh, ATL, very excited about this one. Slams McKenzie coming around the pack, finds an outside lane, does an excellent job maintaining the speed and shuts it down. Almost sounded like we had a penalty at the last second there. 4 points, though, for Slams McKenzie, bringing up Atlanta to 20 points.
And that was the only time that Bonnie Thunders has not picked up that lead jammer status in this game so far. Now we have a score update, 151-20. Rose over Atlanta with 3 minutes left for the first period.
We're going to have a pack advantage now for ATL. As Jess Rivas is in the penalty box, we have Brute on the jam line for Rose, Jammunition for Atlanta. Jammunition now forcing forward the amazing Tarantula and defense of Rose. Trying to seek that outside lane, very dangerous. Moving towards in the middle between turns 1 and 2. Jess Rivas really holding her back. A nice, excellent work there by Erica, but Doozy trying to force a little momentum shift offensively. Pack's now starting to spread apart a little bit. Both teams now at full strength as Jess Rivas enters the game. And prevailing as your lead jammer is Jammunition of ATL. This is 2 jams in a row that Atlanta has the lead jammer status. Wow, what an excellent jam that was for Atlanta. 2 more points on the board, bringing it 22-151. We are under 2 minutes. We have our 2-minute warning. Just kidding, we have 3 points on the board added, so 23-151 in favor of Rose.
Here we have back at the jam line, we have Troublemaker taking on Frisky Biscuits with Rose. We have a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Atlanta. Frisky Biscuits gets bumped around quite a bit from Molly Kuehl, push carting the entire pack by herself. Troublemaker attempts to take on the outside line of the first straightaway.
Gallifrey goes down, a little bit of hustle here. It's a low block situation. Gallifrey is going to head to the penalty box, giving another advantage now for the pack for Atlanta. Doesn't seem to phase Frisky Biscuits, though, as the lead jammer status is prevailing for Rose City.
Here we have back at a 4-on-3 pack advantage for Atlanta. Troublemaker manages to break through. However, Frisky Biscuit does like a nice little spin move after an exit hit quickly calls it off after putting 4 points on the board for Rose, bringing us a score update to 155-23. Rose City over Atlanta with less than a minute left of the period clock.
I whip my hair back and forth, and you can get in on Troller Derby. You have to put those in at the Berg merch table. They take cash or cards. And we will continue taking orders through the halftime of the Troller Derby game, which is our next one. You can do pin the tail on the jammer. You can make the lead jammer forced to do a dance before they can score points. Let's see. You can replace a blocker with a giant inflatable pool toy.
This is their last chance, right? This is their last chance.
I mean, you really have to watch it to believe it. That's what we're understanding here. So Troller Derby will be starting here on the track at 2 p.m. following this game.
You can also make all the skaters skate counterclockwise.
Now you're just getting crazy.
I just even want to see the referees play roller derby. That's what I want to see.
Isn't that like a $50?
All right, we're back to the action on the track as Jam 22 is underway. Instant Karma approaching the front of the pack. Lauren Much stuck behind a wall of Atlanta in the first straightaway. You're going to get a penalty called here on one of Rose's players and gives Instant Karma the lead jammer status there, TJ.
First time Hutch has not got lead.
Absolutely. This is one of the few times that Atlanta has picked up that lead jammer status. I believe the 4th time in this game so far.
Who? This is their 5th lead jam, and that's halftime.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is halftime. It's going to be brief. It's only 10 minutes, but we have
It's just a beautiful
an intermission score update.
Microphone between two announcers.
155-25, Rose over
Quietly
Atlanta.
in the background.
We'll be back in just about 10 minutes, so don't go anywhere, Derbyland.
Shout out to Corporate Lighting and Audio. Their contract is supplying audio, video, and lighting installation. Y'all better be lighting up that DIY karaoke over there. I see y'all thinking about it.
Well, I hope you're ready for the conclusion of Rose City taking on Atlanta. We are 1 minute out. All of our officials are gathering around the fire, the Derby fire of excellence. Atlanta doing an excellent job at the end of the first half, really showcasing some nice offensive maneuvers there. So we're really excited to have you here. I hope you're sticking around for the next game, which is going to be a Troller Derby game at 2 p.m. Yeah. It's going to be amazing. I'm joined here with Adam Baum. Yeah, the wonderful voice behind the voices. Hazenberg and DJ TJ. We're about to bring you the second half of Rose City versus Atlanta.
All right, here we have Bonnie Thunders with Rose City, Aphrodite with Atlanta. Both jammers have taken off and threw the pack on this first straightaway. Bonnie Thunders pushes her way to the front, pushes a nice tripod towards the front. However, Aphrodite is her lead jammer. Oh my, the tables are certainly turning on the second half.
Wonderful job, as well as Atlanta having the pack advantage. Now both teams at full strength, but Aphrodite is going to call off the jam, putting up 4 points. Scoring first is Atlanta, pushing their score now to 29.
And that was only the 6th lead jammer status that Atlanta has picked up. We have a score update, 155 to 29. Rose over Atlanta. And I hate to use those infamous announcer cliches, but we still got a whole half of the game left.
Wait, are you going to say anything can happen?
Anything can happen. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to be more like, you know, stuff can happen.
Well, Lauren Much does take the inside lane this time, putting up the lead jammer position very quickly, under a 5-second start. Slams McKenzie eligible to score now out of the pack. Lauren Much finding the outside lane. calls it quits. Not even a full rotation there. Pack just sitting at turn number 1, Hazenberg. What do you think about all that jazz?
I think the jam was vastly improved by my awesome water bottle, which is customized by Apex Derby Designs over across the way from us. They do all kinds of cool custom derby gear, including custom vinyl decals right here in-house. So if you want something that's awesome, custom, and derby, go check them out.
That's right. They're posting pictures of our awesome new announcer water bottles on their Facebook page, so definitely check them out. In the meantime, back in the action,
Brute, our lead jammer for Rose City. Jam Munition still stuck in the pack now, eligible to score as they break away through the second straightaway pack.
Here we have Brute quickly calling it off before Jam Munition can score any points for Atlanta. Another point on the board for Rose. It reaches the score pick to 160 to 29 with 27.5 minutes left of the game.
ABC title of Harvey and Metairie. They are scary fast, providing express DMV services. They're located in Harvey and Metairie. Check them out.
On the line for Atlanta, Troublemaker going up against number 1, Frisky Biscuits of Rose City. Frisky Biscuits having to recycle very early. Blackjack throwing it down. And your lead jammer is Frisky Biscuits of Rose City.
In the meantime, Troublemaker, star in hand, still working on her initial as she's putting up a 4-wall. Blackjack offering a little bit of offense for Troublemaker.
Pack still stuck in between turns 1 and 2, doing an excellent job defensively, so very slow roll. Frisky Biscuits is going to call it off, putting up 4 for Rose.
And that was another star pass to Blackjack from Atlanta.
Faux Prop Prints, screen printed embroidered apparel for hundreds of events, fundraisers, schools, teams, including Big Easy Roller Girls. Check them out at 620 Papworth Avenue in Metairie or at fauxpopprints.com.
Very clean game so far. No penalties so far this half, but you know what? The only highest level of penalties is Alicia Nisbet-Smith on Wheels of Justice with 3. And the Dirty South doing very well, keeping it clean. Only 2 penalties at the maximum for Rebel Yellow and Aphrodite. So we're back at the action. Jam number 5, Instakarma taking on Bonnie Thunders. Instakarma approaching the front of the pack as Rose takes a very troublesome Triforce, slowing it down, the whole entire pack. A nice exit there by Erica Baduzzi, opening it up. But Bonnie Thunders picks up the lead jammer status.
Absolutely. Instant Karma almost smelling that lead jammer status. However, she picks up a track cut penalty. So this is a power jam in favor of Rose City. Bonnie Thunders puts another Grand Slam on the board for Rose. Atlanta having the pack advantage, 4 on 3. Bonnie Thunders puts another 5 in the sky for Rose.
Atlanta taking the front of the pack. Interesting idea here from Queen Luciatifa, not in play, staying to the infield, kind of coaching the Atlanta defense. Now back in play. On the first rotation of the pack, Rose bridging out towards the first straightaway. Bonnie Thunders racking it up again, putting hands on the hips, puts up another 4 points, shutting out Atlanta.
That's another 19-point jam. Compliments of Bonnie Thunders bring us to a score update. Rose City with 188 points to Atlanta's 29 with 24 minutes left of the game.
Don't forget, we are still having a raffle, which includes a goodie bag from Brews Boutique, 2 tickets to the WTAA Championships of Philadelphia, and half of the raffle money. That's going to be later today. Tickets are $1 each or 6 for $5.
Lauren Munch, once again, your lead jammer before even passing up the 10-foot hash mark.
Aphrodite now out of the pack, eligible score. Lauren Much really putting on the speed here, trying to get through. Lots of penalty trouble here. We're going to get a cut track penalty on Lauren Much. So Aphrodite puts up a 5-point grand slam for ATL. And now a little bit of momentum shift here.
That's
as
right.
Atlanta's starting to pick up speed.
That's right. She attempted to call it off. However, when you pick up a penalty, you're stripped from that lead jammer status privilege. So we are going to go on its full 2 minutes on this one.
Wow, Blackjack just opening up a huge door there for Aphrodite. Atlanta just throwing it down now. A multiplayer block, though, on Tarantula.
Rose down to 2.
Wow. And we're going to have a little bit of a rotation as well. Atlanta losing another blocker. So 4v4 as we head into the next 54 seconds.
That's right. Laura Munch once again breaks through with another 4 points. Aphrodite still stuck in the pack as Lauren Much puts another 5 points on the board.
Lauren Much showing a cardio clinic to all the skaters out there. Aphrodite trying to push forward in the front of the pack. Just having to get past one more of Rose blockers. Nisbet Smith doing an excellent job with the bridging. The toe stop is lost to Hannah Jennings, so
Aphrodite earning a grand slam for Atlanta, her 15th point.
wow, it's a 1-3 pass in favor of Rose. So it was a 12-16 jam. Rose City now approaching the second century mark, 200-45. 21 minutes, 39 seconds remaining, Hazenberg.
Juan's Flying Burrito, a truly unique New Orleans-style Mexican joint with creative interpretation of traditional dishes from both cultures. Check them out, juansflyingburrito.com. They also have locations in Carrollton and in the CBD.
Around the outside.
In Mid-City, rather.
Brute Force is on the outside, picks up lead jammer status for Rose, slams McKenzie.
And here we have Slams McKenzie, spins around, an exit hit, breaking through, not the lead jammer, however.
Inexplicable Confetti. Their shirts are each hand silkscreened by Miette at her New Orleans home. Print on high-quality cotton and cotton blend t-shirts. You can find items from them at Bywater Clothing, I.J. Riley's Knickknacks and Curiosities, and NOLA Kids.
Back at the jam line, we have number 5-0 with Atlanta Jammunition taking on number 9-3, Vanna Curtis with Rose City. Vanna Curtis trying to juke around Blackjack, however, gets pushed towards the back of the pack. Huge skater pile up. Blackjack sticking on Vanna Curtis like glue. Still stuck in turn one. Vanna Curtis is your lead jammer, Rose.
Wow, that only took 35 seconds off the clock, but Curtis now in charge. Jammunition just now getting past the pack. Pack settling into turn number one. And you know what? Vanna Curtis is going to shut it down, putting up 4 more points. Bring the score now 208-45.
And don't forget Flex Massage and Wellness. Tara Masseuse, a.k.a. Kristen Van Hagen. She's got a giveaway for a free bottle of Deep Blue Rub. Let's see, they Planet of the Skates won yesterday's drawing. Maybe you can win today's.
Both teams at full strength. Huge hit there by Queen Lujatifa to Bonnie Thunders. Bonnie Thunders having to recycle at the back of the pack. Oh, and Troublemaker finds just a nice inseam. Picks up lead jammer status for ATL. Pack now starting to break apart as it enters the second straightaway. Really breaking thin now, and Troublemaker's going to shut it down, shutting out Bonnie Thunders of Rose City. Puts up 4 for Atlanta, bringing the score 49 to 208. We are under 19 minutes left, Hazenberg.
That's right, and we want to thank Helm Paint and Decorating, who are our warm-up track sponsor. They have locations all over the greater New Orleans area, including stores in Metairie, Mandeville, and all the way out in Hammond. Check them out for all your paint needs.
Here we have Lauren Munch taking on Instant Karma with Atlanta. Instant Karma gets recycled by Sailor Gaither. In the meantime, we have Lauren Munch.
She has prevailed from the pack, but is not lead.
No, it looks like she picked up a no pass, no penalty. However, she is working on her first scoring pass. Jukes around, rides a block from Blackjack, and puts another 5 points on the board for Rose.
Hannah Jennings picking up that's Nisbet Smith picking up a cut track penalty. So this will be a little bit of an advantage as we're going to have number 504, Nettie Longlegs, return to the track. So in favor of ATL.
And due to a star pass, Blackjack is now the jammer record for Atlanta. So we don't have a lead jammer. We're going to go on its full 2 minutes on this one. Nice job by Lauren Munch, spinning off of an exit hit and putting up another grand slam on the board for Rose.
Do you think sometimes that when you're defending yourself against Lauren Munch, you're just thinking, it's just too much?
Well, it's either that or you're not going to miss a whole lot. So here we have another grand slam for Rose. Blackjack still working on her first scoring pass.
Wow, excellent job there by Instant Karma, throwing in a nice little shoulder check there to Lauren Munch, slowing her down just a little bit. Blackjack looking very exhausted, having to go against this tough Rose defense. But one of the best matchups right here in these two teams is Blackjack against Tarantula. Wonderful defensive matchup. Jam comes to its natural conclusion. That was a 27-3 jam in favor of Rose, bringing the score now 235 to 52. We have 16 minutes remaining in this contest.
After all that, I'm going to need a trip to Finn McCool's to get me some fish and chips and some cold beers. They're over on 3701 Bank Street. You can check them out at finnmccools.com. Also on the Facebooks and the Twitters.
Jam 11 starts with a pack advantage for Rose City. Aphrodite on the line for Atlanta. Frisky Biscuits jamming for Rose City. Aphrodite now pushing the pace up at the front of the pack. Frisky Biscuits slowed down. A nice offensive maneuver here by none other than Envy Adams. Envy Adams, one of the main ones to watch here for offensive breakaways for Rose. 30 seconds gone so far, TJ, and still no lead jammer.
Absolutely, this is impressive work from both teams, but speaking too soon, Frisky Biscuits is your lead jammer. Frisky Biscuit does a little bit of hit it and quit it action, put another 3 points on the board for Rose. We have a score of 238 to 52. Rose over Atlanta with 14 and a half minutes left of the game.
Good Work Marketing is a local and digitally forward creative agency. Check out goodworkmarketing.com. They're located on Oak Street right here in New Orleans.
Now, we talked a little bit about penalty trouble. It was fairly clean, but the only thing we're running into a little bit of trouble for the Dirty South Derby girls is Rebel Yellow, sitting at 4 penalties. But so far, with this kind of, passion and just ferocity here, it's pretty good, clean game so far.
Absolutely. Slams McKenzie almost picked up that lead jammer status. However, compliments of a good exit hit, quickly resetting. In the meantime, Bonnie Thunders once again is your lead jammer for Rose.
Package advantage now for Rose. Bonnie Thunders considering tapping the hips, does so, putting up 4, shutting out ATL. for 2:42 to 52, 13 remaining on the clock.
Ferret Market's a great place for neighbors to meet, relax, and find unique items. An important part of the Renaissance on Ferret Street in New Orleans. They're open the first Saturday of the month at Ferret Street and Napoleon Avenue.
For those wondering on the Twitter feed, they're asking how many points, how many penalties per team. ATL sitting at 16, Wheel of Justice at 13, so still very close in that perspective. Vanna Curtis is your lead jammer for Rose City. Jam Munition still on the initial, stuck between Gallifrey.
Here you have Vanna Curtis juking and jiving all the way towards the front of the back. She manages to break through with another grand slam for Rose.
Jam Munition now star stashing in the back of the pack. Rose not fooled by the possible star pass. Rivas doing an excellent job holding that Triforce together for Rose. Nice spin maneuver there by Jam Munition. Pack just simmering down between turns 1 and 2. Blackjack starting to make a maneuver, trying to throw off Rose. Does not fool them too much. 5 more points on the board from Vanna Curtis.
Here we have Vanna Curtis puts on the brakes, spins right through with another 5-point pass.
All Atlanta has to do is get like a 210-point jam.
Oh, Blackjack just doing a swivel maneuvers towards the inside. And successful start pass for ATL, but shutting it down. That was a nice 20-point jam for Rose City. 262 to 52. 11:24 sitting on the clock.
Gotta have that fun, y'all.
Here we have jamming for Rose is Brute. She's taken on Troublemaker with Atlanta. Here we have Brute doing some juking and getting a little bit assist from Hannah Jennings with Rose. Hannah Jennings skates back and puts on a little defensive help for her teammates.
35 seconds off the clock and still no lead jammer. Troublemaker still stuck at the back of the pack. We're going to have a 4-arm penalty on one of the Atlanta blockers, so this will be a pack advantage now for Rose. They're going to lose number 31. That's Erica Baduzzi.
And oh my, we have a track cut on Rose's jammer, so this is another power jam in favor of Atlanta, which I believe is only the second power jam so far in this game in favor of Atlanta. They've always been kind of like on the sad end of the power jams.
Well, Troublemaker gets the signal. Lead jammer position. Trail and Terror pointing fervently at Troublemaker. Troublemaker trying to make a move. Has to get past Tarantula. Does so. Putting up 5 points. Calls off the jam. We're going to get a power start going into the next jam there, TJ.
Absolutely.
Our next game, speaking of games, is going to be the one you've all been waiting for all day, every day, Troller Derby. Don't forget to get your orders in at the Berg merch booth. They're going to be taking orders through halftime of Troller Derby. So grab your ordering form, fill out your choice of shenanigans. There's going to be shenanigans. Did someone say shenanigans?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Jam 15 underway. Aphrodite unopposed in just a few seconds, and Brute is back in play. Oh, back block penalty on Brute. So now another power jam situation in favor of ATL. Aphrodite alone at the front. Gets a nice sweep there by Blackjack towards the front of the pack. Now we're heading into the second straightaway. Excellent job here offensively by ATL.
That's right, ATL doing a little bit of passive offense, switching to some defense, trapping a goat, giving Aphrodite enough leeway to pick up that lead jammer status.
Wow, Aphrodite just having to go to the limit with Jess Rivas. Hits the back of the pack very quickly, finds an inseam, does a nice job, but Tarantula slowing down Aphrodite just enough to allow Brute back into play. ATL now accepting Brute into the back of the pack. Pack is very spread thin from the second straightaway into the third turn. Both teams now at full strength. Aphrodite trying to push, just completely stalled by Tarantula.
And here we have Aphrodite knocked on the inside, quickly resetting back on the second straightaway.
Aphrodite had time to play with since it was Brute's initial pass, but Aphrodite is going to call off the jam, putting up a full 5 points for Atlanta. 62 to 262, 7 minutes, 25 seconds left. You know what? ATL only needs 200 more points to gain control, so give them time. It could happen. Anything can happen. It's Sweatfest.
I don't think anything can happen, but a lot can happen. Maybe we should change that cliche, huh?
Yeah,
a lot can happen.
We can work on it. All right, Laura Much on the line versus Slams McKenzie. Oh, Pack is just breaking apart into turn number 1. Slams McKenzie recycled at the back of the pack, finds an inseam, tries to stay on the toe stops, has to recycle behind Hannah Jennings. Queen Luzativa headed to the penalty box. This will be her third penalty of the game. Lauren Munch gains lead jammer status for Rose. Slams McKenzie still having to recycle on the initial pass. Pack now just starting to reach turn number 2.
Here we have Lauren Much shrugs off several exit hits, finally breaks through with another 5 points on the board for Rose.
Owl Be Merciless headed to the penalty box. This is the first penalty for Owl Be Merciless. Sorry, second penalty.
Mattitude adjustment. Seeing our jammer flying, quickly resets once again.
The pack is just getting completely brutal between turns 1 and 2. They keep going back and forth, resetting both walls. Now eligible to score, we have a nice star pass, Magnitude adjustment, putting on the star for ATL, but it's just too late. It is shut down. 14-point jam for Rose City. Score now 276 to 62, 5:32 remaining in the contest.
You know, Big Easy Roller Girls hosts all of their meetings at Monkey Monkey in Mid-City. That's on 4641 South Carrollton or monkeymonkeynola.com. It's a comfy little cafe with frozen cold brews, baked goods, light bites, and good times.
Both teams now at full strength, 5v5. We have Jammunition going against Frisky Biscuits. Jammunition trying to find the inner lane. Rose taking in the front of the pack defensively. ATL slowing down Frisky Biscuits to a full stop.
Full stop indeed. Frisky Biscuit pushing away. Shrugs off an exit hit, and she is your lead jammer, Rose City.
ATL starting to put on some of the movement here. We have a successful star pass there. Jammunition handing off the star to the pivot. Frisky Biscuits just racking it up and shuts it down before Blackjack could get out of the pack. That's not Blackjack. That is Instant Karma. So we're going to have an injury timeout.
I can't tell.
That's Blackjack. But
All right, it looks like we have an injury on one of Atlanta's skaters. Back in Derbyland at home, if you're watching the stream, you'll probably notice that a lot of our skaters and a lot of our spectators are actually taking a knee to show some respect for our fallen skater. And throughout the entire weekend, this is the only the second injury that we've seen so far. So we've had a lot of luck, and we would like to take the opportunity of thanking our medical crew for volunteering their time to keep us safe here at Sweatfest. And for those of you who are actually new to Derby, like I said, we take a knee to show respect, and this is actually a tradition that was started by the Detroit roller derby team back in the day, a long time ago. There was an injury. Everyone just randomly took a knee. And it was just kind of like a beautiful moment that we've practiced in roller derby for, I want to say, 15 years now. And it was just a beautiful moment. It was completely random, and it was just so honest and so derby. And in roller derby, we have tons of traditions like this, and we do our best to keep those traditions alive and keep each other safe, because none of us are actually paid to do this at all. We're all volunteers, and every hit, every bruise, everything these skaters endure is just for the love of the sport. And once again, we would really love to thank our hosting league, the Big Easy Roller Girls. And it looks like Blackjack from Atlanta Roller Girls. She's standing. She's doing okay. The MTs are going to make sure that she's going to be okay to continue on skating. According to the WFTDA, if the jam ends due to an injury, that injured skater will have to sit out at least 3 jams just to ensure that she's going to be okay for the rest of the day. And we certainly hope that Blackjack is going to be back in the action before the day is over. So,
huge round of applause for Blackjack. So that whistle will end our injury timeout. So we're 5 seconds away, getting back into the contest between Rose City taking on Atlanta. Bonnie Thunder's on the line. Is Sekau for Atlanta.
That's right. Bonnie Thunders is your lead jammer once again with only about 4 minutes left of this game. Bonnie Thunders almost landing a very beautiful apex jump, quickly resets.
You got a safety first, make sure that you're inbounds. Bonnie Thunder's now seeing that inseam, puts up another 5 for Rose. Sekau is still stuck on the initial pass.
Here we have Bonnie Thunders doing a little bit of inside spinning as she wraps her hips around as many skaters as possible, breaks through and puts 5 points on the board. Whoa, huge crash by Bonnie Thunders as she puts another single point on the board, and 1 point for Atlanta brings us to a score of 293 to 63. Rose over Atlanta with about 2.5 minutes left of the second game today here at Sweatfest.
We're getting an official timeout. There's got to be some fun words you can talk about, Hazenberg.
You know, I want to talk about Troller Derby again.
Do it.
Because I am calling that bout, and I am so super excited to bring you guys Troller Derby with my partner in crime, the legendary Stash Merkin. It is not too late at all to get your orders in. You can get some shenanigans like you can move the jammer off the jam line by 5 feet for every $5 you spend. You can make the blockers have to go moo when they were formed from a no pack. You can be the head referee. Just straight up be the head referee for the rest of the game. You don't have to put on skates for that. You just stand there and you yell no pack or pack is here. You should do that, Cakes.
Jam 19 underway. Aphrodite jamming for Atlanta against Brute for Rose City. Aphrodite having to reset the back of the pack. Huge tumble towards the infield. But Aphrodite now just getting wily on the track. Atlanta doing an excellent job slowing down Brute, but there it is. Brute is your lead jammer. Atlanta losing one of their blockers for a back block penalty. It's number 1408, Insta Karma. Ooh, it's Envy Adams taking on Aphrodite. Oh, they're hugging, so they know that it's good.
I know that was that was a high block call. That was a high block call on Aphrodite. It was almost it almost kind of reminded me of some UFC fighting for a second. A little bit of extreme hugging.
You're silly. In UFC, they use their hands. Roller derby, they use shoulders and hips. You big silly. Wow, a nice little hippity hop by Brute there on the apex jump. Power jam situation still in play for Rose City. Aphrodite in the penalty box. Pack settling into the first straightaway. ATL controlling the front of the pack. Envy Adams throwing a little bit of offensive maneuver into the first lane.
Here you have a slight jammer lockdown as Aphrodite is still stuck towards the back of the pack. She gets a nice little assist from Natty Longlegs.
Oh, we might have time for one more jam. 5 more on the board for Rose City. It's a 20-point jam. Clock sitting at 43 seconds. What are we going to do, Hazenberg?
We give a shout out to Snarl Sagan at Slate Technology for our live feed. If you guys are watching our stream from home, you have Snarl Sagan and Slate Technology to thank for making that possible.
Here we have Lauren Munch taking on Slams McKenzie from Atlanta. Slams McKenzie looks like she's the very last lead jammer of this contest here in New Orleans. Insta Karma getting whistled off the track. Slams McKenzie working on her scoring pass. She spins, skates backwards, looks from some guidance from her bench. Her coach tells her to keep rolling on.
Pack now speeding up as it enters the first straightaway. Slams McKenzie and now towards the front of the pack, puts up another 4 points for Atlanta. Lauren Much just simmering down there, starting to play a little bit of defense.
Right now we're just on borrowed time with the jam clock. Slams McKenzie gets whistled off for a block of a forearm call. Power jam time in favor of Rose, and we're going to be at the mercy of the jam clock for the next 38 seconds.
Well, luckily, ATL has Erica Baduzzi, just one of the best blocking moments here at this tournament. Erica Baduzzi, you got to watch her. Laura Much just tripping on through that pack. They were putting up 5 points for Rose City. 14-13 jam in favor of Rose. Slams Mackenzie now out and about. We have 13 seconds on the clock to see what else we can do here. Honestly, I think Lauren Much just has like a swivel effect to her hips. They're not really connected to her spine. It's just amazing. Oh, a nice 4-pointer there. Slams Mackenzie. Finishing strong. It was a 19-17 jam in favor of Rose, bringing this unofficial score to 332-80. Wow. That was a hardcore game. We'll wait for our official whistle. We'll hope you stick around for our next game. It's Troller Derby starting at 2 p.m. And there we have it, folks. The final score, Rose City 332, Atlanta 80. Amazing job. Get trackside so you can slap some sweaty hands. Give it up for Rose City Rollers, the Wheels of Justice.
Just a heads up also, I'm told Bruce Boutique's going to have to be leaving a little early today, so if you haven't made your purchases from Bruce Boutique, go check out the table in the vendor area. They'll be leaving at about 5 p.m., so if you haven't hit the table for Bruce Boutique yet and checked out all the really cool stuff, you need to do it in the next few hours because they will be leaving at 5 p.m.
Captain Motorboater, if you are in the building, please report to the announcer area. There he is. Hi, Cap. Check, check.
Will our EMTs please report to the track? Our EMTs, please report to the track at this time. Attention on the track, Lady Speed Sticks for the Troller Derby. It is now your official warm-up period. Lady Speed Sticks, your official warm-up period. It will be a 10-minute warm-up period. Everybody.
Zombie, 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 hey, 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 yo.
This one is way too hot. Yeah, but I'm holding it at arm's length. Oh, yeah. Checky, check, 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 check. On the microphone. Checkity, check, check. Volume check, checking that. Roll it down a little bit. There we go. I think that's a little bit further, a little bit further. Yeah, a little bit further. There we go, there we go. I think that's going to be about perfect. What do you guys think? Am I too loud? Not so much? I could go up? All right. I love you guys.
Mic check, 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 check. Check, 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 mic check, mic check.
Derby, 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 derby. Who wants some troller derby?
Are these?
Ladies Speed 6, this is your 2-minute warm-up warning. You got 2 more minutes to finish your warm-up.
White team, your official warm-up period has expired. Team Black Mold, your official 10-minute warm-up period begins now.